Okay, now let's look at how to actually perform an inspection on equipment in the Onix Inspect app. Once you have searched for the equipment, you can see the equipment here in the list. You will see some information about the equipment. If it is overdue with this red icon right here, if it has any issues on it with this icon right here. Once you have found the equipment that you want to inspect, you now have 3 options going forward, depending on the type of inspection that you want to perform. The first inspection that you can do is the simple and the most commonly used one, is where we just inspect one equipment using a checklist. Let's use this chain link for this example. Now, to do an inspection on the equipment, we can swipe on the equipment to get shortcuts where we can click on New Job, Quick Inspection, New Issue, and Add Document. Here we want to click on New Job to go forward, and as you can see, we can now choose between the mandatory inspection, preventive maintenance, and operator maintenance. We set mandatory as the default job class, therefore this one has been chosen, and here we can see the different checklists available for us to use. We're going to use this one called chain hoists, and we are now brought to the job. Here we have some different sections. Ultimately for you, the only thing that you need to do now going forward is to go ahead and fill out the checklist, and then you're done. But I want to introduce you to the different sections here just to give you some information about what we can do here and what information we can collect here in this job window. So at the top here, you can see that we get a message that tells us that some information is missing and that we won't be able to file this job unless this information is applied to the checklist or the job itself. We can leave this message here, we can dismiss it, or we can go to the checklist and start filling out the checklist. We're just going to leave this now for now. Here in the equipment section, we can see what equipment we are now doing an inspection for. We're going to come back to this one when we do inspections on multiple equipments. This is where we head in and do the checklist, fill out the checklists. Here we can decide what kind of form we want to create. The default form is the inspection report, but maybe we want to create a certificate of some sort. We can then change here to the different types of forms that we have set up on our account in Onix Work. We're just going to stay with the inspection report, so we're just going to X back here. Here is where the job status is set. This one will be set automatically depending on the results in your checklists. Here we will find the job intervals. As you can see, we have 2 intervals on this equipment. We have a 12-month interval and a 4-year interval. Now the 12-month, we did an inspection for just a couple of days ago, so it's now due to do the 4-year inspection. So we're going to remove the check on the 12-month, and we're now going to do the 4-year inspection like so. If you're missing a job interval here, once you've started the job, you can simply click on the plus sign here to add a new job class or a new job interval. And continuing downwards here, we have some information about the job itself. This is where we could have added some default order number or default information. And at the bottom here, we have the button that says that this job is going to be filed automatically once we upload this job from the app. Okay, so what we want to do is jump into the checklist and start filling out the checklists. This is how it looks. At the top here, we have the option of expanding all section or collapsing all sections. As you can see, the default view is that all sections are expanded, so we can collapse them like so, and then go ahead and work within each section if that is what you prefer to do. And then we can expand it again by clicking here. We have a shortcut which allows us to fill out the entire checklists with one status. If we click here, we can go ahead and choose one of these statuses, and this will be filled out on the entire checklist. We're not going to do that now because I want to show you some more functionality, but this is an option that you have. And here is where you add a general comment to the entire checklist and click save. So if we move down in the sections of the checklists, to fill out a a status, we click on the question mark to give it an OK status, like so. If something weren't okay, we can then go ahead and click on the line here, or the status itself. And we are brought to that status where we can set the different status, add a comment, and we can also add a picture right here by clicking on this plus icon, and we can take a photo or upload a photo from our device. Once we have done that, we click on save, and we can see that the status has been updated. We now have the comment here, and we will also have an icon showing us that a picture has been taken on this specific status. And then we also have shortcuts for each section. We can then click on this one, say OK. If there was a section that wasn't applicable to this job that I'm now doing, we can then go ahead and click on this status right here. And if we know that the rest of the checklist is now okay, we can just go back to the top, click on this shortcut right here, click on OK, and it will fill out the empty statuses in the checklist. So as you can see, this shortcut will not overwrite any statuses that you have set previously. It will just fill out empty statuses. Okay, we have filled out 44 of 44 statuses in this checklist. We can now X our way out. We do not have any message on the top anymore. We have now completed the job, and when the job is completed, we can simply go back to our search engine. If I now refresh my search, this equipment will no longer be presented because we are now searching in uninspected active equipment, and that equipment has now been inspected.